we were the first team to be big.
I remember that so well.
You do?
What of you guys?
We were huge.
Yeah. She was younger than me by a bunch of years. What year did you graduate?
80. When did
3
you go?
years. Yeah.
You went also to see
So
I
you're
did. Did you?
No, but my son is going. I'm so excited.
Oh, we loved it.
77?
I graduated in 77.
Because that was the 66, 76, 77 team who got inducted that team that year. And we were there.
Oh, that's great.
You went with the
Yeah, I mean,
hardcore.
I was so not
I
It's
know.
really cool that they were doing it.
We had like a red moment today. Hello there and welcome to this Satsang tonight. Bless you. Yay. Woo. I'm still feeling into a beautiful session that I had today with a beloved who in the middle of the session just started bawling, just broke down crying at the simplicity of what a sweet, lucky life to recognize the option of the refuge of the heart, the refuge of what is, the refuge of what's true, the refuge of that about you which is timeless and immediately present, infinitely vast, absolutely accessible at every moment, unwavering, not tarnished, not diluted. The refuge of freedom now, freedom like this, freedom as is. And she was crying and crying, and she was like, oh my goodness, it's just hitting me, it's just hitting me. Just hitting me, what a gift. And it is really sweet. With all that's happening on TikTok and all that's happening on Instagram and all that's happening in the world. For a lot of us, the world is TikTok, Instagram. all the doomsday scrolling, or the ascendant day scrolling. Same. If this moment isn't recognized as the freedom you are now, same. Doomsday scrolling, raise your vibration scrolling. Same. It's mind overlooking, mind attempting to justify its existence, mind looking to make identity real, time real, cause and effect real, even though it's never once actually happened. Mind has never made identity real. Mind has never made time real. Mind has never made causality real. Mind has never made anything real. Only appears to do so. A magic trick, only seeming. It's pulling the ego out of the ear over and over and over again. And in one instant of the willingness to tell the truth in this moment, to look and see in this moment what's really here, what's actually present. So we can notice what we're usually putting our attention on are what? Let's see if we can share some things. Thoughts. Hi, thoughts. Fears. Uh-huh. What else do we usually put our attention on? Feeling. Yeah. Thoughts, feelings, fears. Future. A big old future sandwich. Hold the mayo. And you see how all of those support each other. They all show up in support. Thoughts, fears, feelings, futures. I love how one of my dear teachers, Candace O'Denver, known now as ZG Rinpoche, speaks to data. There's data, and there's that which is aware of data. So data we could also say there's descriptions, and that which is aware of descriptions. Descriptive frameworks, what a dream, what a kaleidoscope of everything. That's the everything, everywhere, all at once bagel. Am I hungry? Sandwiches, bagels. Mayo. Mayo. Me say mayo. Home. Data streams. We are trained to emphasize data streams. We are trained to emphasize descriptions. We are trained to rely on the mind to tell us who we are, where we are, what do we need to do, what do we have, what we don't have, what do we need to get, what are we going to do to get what we need to get, what will we not do to get what we want to get, all the things. And in that, we overlook every atom in its place right now. We overlook, holy shit, peace is the reality of existence now. We overlook that all is well now. We overlook that love is our nature. Oceans upon oceans upon oceans of love, our very being. Did you bring a chair?
Yes.
Welcome. She totally did bring a chair. Sweetie, we've just been talking about you the whole time.
Oh, wow. You must be bored.
Yay, you're here. We're all here. And isn't it fun in this moment, the description that there was something called a day is amazing. In this moment, the description that there's something called later. In this moment, the description that there's something, someone going somewhere, or someone at somewhere. Those are wondrous descriptions, empty of an independent nature. Wondrous celebration of ever unspoken totality of thisness that you are. And so in satsang, we just take a moment, we take a vacation. It's like a micro dose. Please, would you like a pillow? Would you like a drum? Would you like a rattle? Do you want like a little blanket? Okay, 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 okay. So we learn there's an education in the nature of mind and an education in the nature of nature, of our true nature. There's an education in the difference between what's imagined and what's real, without having to make anything better than anything else, or anything more valid than anything else. Just a simple noticing. You know, it's like right where you are, all that has ever occurred is either the noticing of descriptions, the emphasis of descriptions, or maybe that grace in the matrix moments. Hola muñequita, ¿cómo tú estás? Yay, there's things back there you can use, yeah. It's so sweet as we start getting familiar with this descriptive qualities, because we also start getting familiar with the indescribable stability of your being, of presence, of peace. And so one of the ways to start getting familiar with this open presence is to literally exist as an open palm for a moment. To move from fist consciousness. Fist consciousness again is the innocence of I know who I am and I know, or, or I don't know who I am, or this is happening, that's happening, this needs to happen, that should happen, this is what's best, that's what's best, this is how they need to talk, this is what they need to say, this is what I need to do, this is how much money I'm supposed to have, this is how much money I need to give away, this is how this, all the ay Dios mío. And so that's innocently fist, and there's nothing wrong with it. Not saying that it's bad. Again, mind tends to look at, oh, but I love. No, it's just noticing. And so, in a moment of open palm consciousness, is when we allow ourselves and also tell the truth that we don't know anything. Not just an allowing, it's a deep telling the truth. Everything but an ever evolving point of view. Everything but an ever evolving point of a definition. And in this moment, to not have to know, also to notice no one to know, nothing to know. What's available in the openness of another way of getting familiar? Maybe if the I don't know things feels a little vague, or but I know I'm sitting here and I know that my booty scratch is scratchy, and I know that maybe just a moment to allow everything to be as it is. So in a moment, in this moment, let the whole body relax. Nothing to change, nothing to fix, nothing to realize, nothing to understand, nothing to get, nothing to grasp, nothing to let go of, nothing to heal, nothing to harbor, nothing to soothe. Just allowing completely these sweet bodies to be as they are. Allowing completely this precious planet to be as it is. Allowing completely the whole cosmos to be as they are. Allowing completely whatever story you have about your past to be as it is. Allowing completely whatever story your mama has about your past, or your lover has about your past, or your brother has about your past, or this person has about your past. Have you noticed there's hundreds of pasts? Hello and welcome. Hi there. There's this little boomy thing here. There's also this guy right here. If someone, would you be willing to move that there, Jordan? Yeah. And and there's that chair, that pink chair as well. Hi there. How are you? Oh, so lovely to meet you.
I apologize for late.
Oh, you're good. Welcome, welcome. Hi. Again, we've just been talking about you the whole time.
Yeah, okay.
Yay. In Satsang, I love that we all think we have names. I love that we all imagine that we have bodies. And I love that we all imagine that we've gone somewhere, have come somewhere, have gotten somewhere. And it's a sweet moment where we can be out of the closet of all the delight of separation and maybe notice that which has never gone anywhere, that which has never arrived anywhere. Even if the appearances may be different, or the arrangement of the atomic structure of the moment may seem like, oh, I'm in a new place. The awareness of the structure, unmoving, unwavering, not gone anywhere, not come anywhere, not late anywhere, not on time anywhere, timelessly everywhere present, you as awareness. You as awareness. And here, this is what we emphasize. Oh, wow, I'm not just a body. I'm not just a molecular expression of some mischievous chemistry. Free, luminous, self sprung. Notice awareness is self sprung. If I were to ask you, turn off awareness.
Become stronger.
it
Yeah.
becomes stronger. Yes, this never sleeps. It never is off. It's the constant, everyday awareness. Maybe we have an experience of special awareness. Anyone ever had experience of special awareness? Like awareness with some A1 sauce on it or some sriracha? Chile, congri. Bless you. And so that awareness, all of a sudden, we think that's the awareness I need to get to. That's the awareness I need to maintain. That's the awareness that's special. That's the awareness that I don't think I ever had until I did ayahuasca, or until I did a iboga, or until I did 5-MeO DMT, or until I got a hug from Amma, or took, whatever it might be. That can be a catalyst, a permission slip. But again, anything that comes and goes is a good clue. Neti neti. Not it, not it. Even spiritual experiences, vast states of consciousness. Not it, not it. From the space of awareness, a Twinkie and a near-death experience, YouTube, same. Appearance comes and go in this unmoving stability that you are. And we notice what's the fragrance of this that we don't have to do, that we don't have to cultivate, that we don't have to super glue, Jimmy rig, Lee press on nail. It's like just, we don't have the Aquanet. We don't got to spray that shit. It's like, what's just naturally occurring? The fragrance of this awareness. I notice one of the qualities is uninterrupted kindness. It was really pronounced as uninterrupted kindness when I was filming a music video in Crestone and I got a kidney stone. Oh shit. Ay Dios mío. So we go to Crestone, we rent, of course, when one's in Crestone, you rent a mothership. There's a dome, sacred geometric dome structure, geodesic dome structure. And I was like, oh, you loves take the beds. I'm a traveling musician. I can sleep anywhere. So I slept on the couch. And I woke up in the morning with the most excruciating pain ever. And I was like, oh, am I that much of a prima donna that I can't sleep on a couch anymore? Is this the age thing? Like, what is this sensation? So I was like, hi, sensation. I say hi to everything. Hi, mind. Hi, sensation. Hi, thought. Hi, emotion. Hi, I don't even use the word pain. I say hi, sensation. And so then in the sensation, I noticed that, oh, what I like to do when I have an interesting sensation, I like to go lay on the earth. So I went and laid on the earth. I went outside. This was like 6:30 in the morning because I had a music video to start filming at 7. So I laid on the earth and I was like, all right, hi planet. You probably have a lot of craft and projects you're working on. There's some interesting energies here. You need any of this for whatever you're working on? Feel free to take whatever you need. And I just lay there. And in like 3 minutes, no pain whatsoever, no sensations. And so I got up, I did my makeup, I put on my lashes, I did this whole outfit inspired by the Yoruba tradition of where my ancestors in Cuba come from, the Afro-Cuban Santeria, and I recorded this music video, and so this music video was all about chuka chaka chike reke tinke dongo dong. So I was moving, and I was gyrating, and I was shaking all day long, Faka chaka chaka chaka, doing all these things, right? And then we finished filming the whole music video film, no sensations. We go to the Zikr, we go to another thing, and we go to the stupa in Crestone, and then some dear friends were holding a dinner in my honor. So we go to their house, and as soon as I get out of the car, it was like a train just hit the side of my body. And I noticed that my body was about to faint and was fainting. But I also noticed my hand grabbed the door of the car. And I was just like, oh, look at that kindness, that there is a door there. And look at the kindness how my hand grabbed it. And then, of course, it was Crestone, and it's my friend, so everyone there was a healer. So I had 20 people with tuning forks and subwoofers and, and working on my bio yarn and oh, let's work through the unforgiveness of your father from 4 lifetimes ago. And and I'm just like, do whatever you want to do. And noticing my body going like this, feeling all the sensations and and the essential oils and then offering me, you want some ayahuasca? Do you want some peyote? Do you want and I'm just noticing, no, thank you. No, thank you. Oh, appreciate that. No, thank you. And then it was just so clear. Also recognizing kindness. Look at everyone showing up. Such kindness, such kindness. And also the kindness and immediately knowing, oh, go to the hospital. So I'm like, who would like to take me to the hospital? Right. And the hospital's about an hour and 20 minutes away. Salida. So again, my dear friends were like, "We'll take you to the hospital." So we get in the car, and I'm noticing kindness, kindness, even as there's sensations, even as there's like movement, and it's like, oh wow, total kindness. And then the pain was so huge, and the sensation was so huge, this body started throwing up, and there was a bag right there, and the sounds were funny. We still laugh at them. There was something like whoa! It was like operatic. And then my friend had the kind idea to call the ambulance, so they meet us halfway. So they were like, let's call the ambulance. And I'm like, that's such a great idea. And so the ambulance comes, and again, how kind. And somehow the ambulance found us in this middle of this mountain road, this dirt road. I get in the ambulance. They're like, we can't give you any pain medications. And I'm like, tell me more. And they said, because the doctor needs to feel around and know what's happening to you. And I was like, that is so kind. I love that. So clear that that's not the protocol. It's still a mystery. And we want the doctor who's the professional, the body is their business, to know what's going on. I got it. So cool. As we're on the road, and it's a bumpy road, and my friend's in the car behind me, and I'm and the sweet paramedic is like doing whatever he can to try to put an IV in me, and so like it's and then like it'll be smooth for like 3 seconds, and as soon as he's gonna do it, it starts. So he attempted like 4 or 5 times, and I'm watching this, and I'm noting my body's going like this with the sensations, and I'm like, "Excuse me, would you be willing to tell the driver to pull over and to stop, and so you can put in the IV?" And he looked at me like, "What? Okay." So he tells the driver, and then the driver stops. Driver stops, Successful. He gets the IV in. But my friends in the car behind me, they were like, oh shit, he's dead. So they come running up and I hear them banging on the door of the. And then they're like, no, 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 he's fine, he's fine. He asked us if we can stop so we can successfully put in the IV. And they're like, oh yeah, that's totally him. He's alive, he's alive. And then like another hour passes, and it was such a gift to notice, like the emphasis wasn't on any thoughts about what's happening or what should happen. It was like such an availability of, oh, there's such kindness here. I love how this is holding me. I love how, like, if there was a thought, I need to know what to do right now. Is that no? I don't need to know what to do. I just here, and it was seamless. This kindness, the gasoline. It's amazing what the mind is available to when we're not innocently caught up in our the world is ending stories, in our innocent, stressful thoughts. So innocent, nothing wrong with them, and we have other options available to us. Get to the hospital, 2 minutes, the doctor asks me questions and, oh, you have a kidney stone. And he gives me a little thing. And I went and I peed it out. So amazing. So before that, he asked me, would you like some morphine? Would you like some? And I checked in and it was so clear. No, no. It's like, this is so, this is gone before it's even going to begin. This is going to be so gone. Kindness uninterrupted. When I had my wisdom tooth and the doctor couldn't see me because I had an infection and I had to go to Sedona. It's so funny because a dear friend of mine had the same thing happen. Went to Sedona with the wisdom tooth infection. Sensations, and no argument with it. That's what's really sweet also, as we discover that no matter what's appearing, kindness and peace never get interrupted. It's not the opposite of peace, it's the exaltation of peace. It's not the opposite of good, it's the opportunity to discover good has no limits and is all inclusive. So that to say, what is it that innocently gets us in trouble, or we imagine we get in trouble? Our unquestioned thoughts in the moment, our stressful belief systems, what we superimpose onto a world of time. It's so innocent. That's how we've all been trained. And we have so many more options available to us as an experiment to get curious about and play around with. Anyone have a question before I continue? Or something you'd like to share? Sorry? Oh yes, you could totally see the video. You could totally see the video. I will post the video when we're done. I'll show you some of the video. Yes, and the mic is right behind you. Hi, Jordan.
Hi, Ash. How do you know what's real? How do you know if something's real and not imagined?
So fun. So fun. So in this very instant, one sweet invitation is for a moment. If I were to ask you, who are you? And notice where you go when you hear that question. Who are you? If you'd like to share what comes up when you hear that question.
Some image in my mind,
An
a
image
little
in your
kind of vague
mind.
image came up.
Right. Is that image real? In other words, if we defined real as that which doesn't come or go,
Ah, no.
and unreal as innocent mirage. And of course, we're using language, and language is going to be forever limiting. It's not exactly precisely this. So I'm very happy to fail over and over again. And it can be helpful to notice that which comes and goes. All appearances, kind of like a mirage. If you take a high powered microscope, which is an instrument that consciousness created as a way to just look closer at something, when you get close to a mirage, what happens? It disappears. With a high powered microscope, when you get close to the apparent mirage of form and separation and lines of definition, oh, not that at all, just appears to be that. And it's the superimposed mental matrix projected, because in my experience, this is absolutely real. This touch, this everything, this oh, I'm gonna have a cherry later. Boy, that cherry's gonna be real as hell. And even though there's this, and I love the names of everything, I call them Hello Kitty stickers. Uh, it's still just this moment with this moment, the self with the self. This is love with love, God stuff with God stuff. Just because I call it a cherry will never make it so. It's the universe with the universe. Fulfillment, fullness, overflowing with itself. And a name may come and go, oh yeah, but it's still just infinity with infinity. And so to notice that which doesn't come or go, which is closer than what you've acquired or what has been accumulated or what has been attributed to yourself, to things. All of that is words, names, conditioning, passed down. It's playing telephone. Rumors, rumors that our beloved ancestors maybe didn't have, most of them didn't have the awareness or even recognize the option to stop and question whether it's true or not. So we're caught in the trance of our own making. Seemingly caught. No one ever truly caught. No one ever truly caught. Impossible. It's like a cloud finally capturing the sky. Impossible. Still free. Only seemingly. And then that same question, who are you? But answer it without touching one atom from the past.
I just noticed it got really, really, really quiet.
Yes. You are really, 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 really quiet.
I think it's because, like, whoa. Because I just saw something. Because sounds are like coming out of my mouth and everything. It feels like I'm definitely like right here because I'm talking and like sounds are coming
Oh,
from right
fun.
here.
Are
Sounds weird.
sounds coming out of your mouth?
I think
Really?
so.
Right, you think so. Again, this is the past of what you've learned. For a moment, feel into the body.
Mm-hmm.
Has the body ever called itself a body?
Mm-mm. No.
Body is free of that definition. The brain has never called itself a brain. Eye has never called itself an eye. This is the superimposed, innocent grid of the matrix of mind. Labeling, not making it wrong. Wonderful. Limited intelligence, brilliant. And you're not just limited intelligence. You are unlimited intelligence. You're not just a closed system of pockets of information. You are an open system of spontaneous, creative, roaring brilliance.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah,
So what is the mind then? What?
so good. So good. And let's look at it right now. Where can you find it, this thing called mind?
Just like images, like just imagine something like that's the mind. I don't even know.
Oh, very fun, right? The secret to mind is that the moment we look for it, not there. The only thing that gives evidence to a mind is what?
Mind.
Is mind.
Yeah.
And it attempts over and over again and forever fails.
Who's looking at the mind?
It's so good to notice. And what happens to mind when that which is looking, it's like the sun looking at mist. You are the one who has always been looking. What did St. Francis of Assisi say? You are that which sees. Was it something like that? No, you are that which is seek that. I can't remember what that bitch said.
Good stuff.
Something good. But it was something along the lines of see who is seeing. Awareness is what sees. Awareness is what hears. When you dream at night, it appears that you're seeing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's no eyes there. Just awareness. Awareness, seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, holding, living, breathing, enjoying. It's only ever been awareness with itself, which is so sweet. It's another word for waking up or getting a clue is becoming accustomed to the obvious. Getting used to the obvious. Oh, wow, start noticing. Like in my experience, I don't use words like meditation. Because in my experience, show me something that isn't meditating. For me, meditation is something being itself. Everything is being itself. When a parent human meditates, the human allows themselves to be themselves. They finally allow the mind to be itself. Finally allow emotions to be themselves. Finally allow the moment to be itself. Fine. And so we're saying, oh, that's meditation. Yay. And that's good. It's a permission slip. It's training wheels. And as we deepen in that, we discover no one meditating, no meditator here, just meditation, endless meditation. All form the Buddha. Every couch, every speaker, every flower, everything is Buddha nature. Still meditating, being itself, mind being itself, emotions being itself. So mind only appears to be something only due to mind. And no thought has any independent nature apart from awareness. This is where we start recognizing the inseparability on one's path of self discovery and getting familiar with one's infinite nature, effortless nature, we can say, most natural nature. It can be useful to be like, have a little bit of a separation. There's descriptions and there's awareness. There's mind and there's awareness. It's kind of like a cat and mouse game. It can be useful. But the more we rest as awareness, mind reveals itself to be inseparable. It's kind of like there's the burning infinite flame and its warmth, the burning infinite flame and the glow. And so mind is the celebration of infinite silent, still awareness. Sound is the celebration of silence. Uninterrupted silence, silence with no opposite. Movement, dance, the celebration of stillness. Unwavering, solid, still, immediate. And when we allow mind to be itself, that's how we get familiar with this that never changes. And we get familiar with the self-releasing quality that is all phenomena. So notice, how many times have you blinked this evening? Self-releasing. How many adjustments were made? Self-releasing. How many thoughts? How many interpretations? Self-releasing. Boy, does it free up a lot of energy when we're not attempting to release something. That's just taking out the rope.
Ash, may I ask
Yes.
a question?
Mm-hmm.
Ash, are children children, or are they just awareness, being aware?
I love this question. Children are absolutely children,
Mm-hmm.
and they're forever awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, infinite awareness, timeless
Mm-hmm.
awareness,
Mm-hmm.
and they're children, which is so
Because we
sweet.
put these structures on them. We put school. We put,
We do.
yeah. Because when
We
they're in
do.
play, they're in the flow, and that's what I was
Right.
thinking about.
Right.
They're so in the flow, and I thought, well, maybe they're just awareness. Maybe we think they're children.
I so
We
love
think they're
that.
10. We think they're 3 or 4.
Right. Right. And that's what's so beautiful is like they both can coexist because it's so appropriate to see a 3-year-old as a 3-year-old in so many ways. It's infinite kindness and infinite ways. It's so, this is the poetry of the way of it. The way of it. Until it moves, and it'll move in its own time, as it always has throughout all of time. But yes, to recognize the awareness of the beloved. I had a sweet session with another beloved who was so terrified that she was going to pass on all of her ancestral garbage onto her precious 6-month-old, that she was showing up as neglectful. Uh, she and And so we questioned some of those thoughts. We looked at the assumption it's bad to pass on your ancestral trauma to your child. Like, who says that's bad? And how do you see your child when you believe the thought that it's bad? She's like, oh my God, I see her as defenseless. I see her as a victim. I see her as not. And I was like, right. And is she any of those things? Not at all. Infinite badass. So available, perfectly choosing you exactly as you are. All of the beauty that you are and all the insanity that you are. Chosen, every ounce of you chosen by the life that emanation of infinity wants to have. It's so sweet. Totally awareness.
And they're gifts and teachers.
They're gifts and
Because we look at
teachers.
them and we look at their face and we can't take our eyes off of them.
Oh my gosh.
And we're lost in the moment. And they're
Right.
smiling and we're smiling and
Right.
they smell good. And
Yes.
it's all of those senses, right? Like right in the moment. And
Yes, so
who cares
beautiful.
about all this other stuff? It's just this right here, right now.
Right.
Now.
Right.
Now.
Now. Yes, 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 yes. And this moment takes care of itself. Yeah. And then it's so appropriate, all the different ages and simultaneously pure awareness. Pure awareness. And I just emphasize this because there have been certain cults that have moved into mind's version of children are awareness and horrors unfold. Horrors, abuse, abuse of power. So the vigilance is so important. The vigilance, where a child gets to forever be a child, and you get to recognize their awareness, presence, infinite intelligence, and school, and loving discipline, and this stage of development, and you're not dating that 50-year-old, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's this all inclusive, which is really sweet. That it doesn't have to be one or the other. That we can recognize how beautifully and how kind it fits the relative with the absolute. Yes.
I just want to add that, being every week with my 1 year, she's 1 1/4 now. I have a 1 1/4-year-old granddaughter.
Oh, how precious.
Every Wednesday is our day.
Oh, sweet.
I mean, I absolutely see the wide open awareness. In the beginning was even more, but it seems to be her chosen job to come and inhabit this relative reality.
Such a
This
joy.
is not a bad thing.
It's not.
No, I always feel like in this, they're on the awareness, or and then school and culture. That's a chosen journey.
Absolutely.
And I see that weekly, how she performs that. And yes, it is a matrix she entered.
So perfectly so.
Absolutely. And I'm part of it, and I try to be a relatively open one, but I'm also
Grandma.
one. And also
Yeah.
in my matrix, so and so defined, and so are
Perfectly
her
so.
parents. But we're all relatively open system people around her. But yet, her journey is to come into that little body and do it
So
more and more.
perfect.
So it must be both realities coexisting at the same time.
Like it has been forever and ever and ever. Which is so great.
And yeah, you can say it's sad that she's losing this probably even more. The first,
And I would question that thought.
and I don't know if it's true,
Excellent.
because, well, I think in the first few weeks I observed what I interpreted as a certain sadness or resistance to big spirit had to come into a very, very small little body. And there was not just joy. About 3 months in, she was reconciled with having chosen path. And so
Okay.
it's very interesting.
So interesting. Well, also interesting having the awareness, oh, look how infinity likes to express itself also. Infinity is not limited to open. and vast. Infinity is also condensed and closed and fist and angry and emotions and sad. That's also infinity. It's also spirit. Yeah.
So I've had an experience of how I see this because I struggle sometimes to really, because you're using words, and of course they go into little compartments, and I'm trying to figure it out. And then when I remember, I had an NDE, and when I
I
had
love that.
yeah, it was great, and I was 11. And
Yes.
in that NDE, I remember seeing my life go by, brrr, like have this review.
Right.
And it occurred to me that just like a book, every age that I was is this page in a book that when you're reading the book, you're really into it, like you're watching a movie.
Yes.
And it's creation. And I'm this 1-year-old, and then I'm a
Yes.
4-year-old. And as I'm reading the book of my life, it's very detailed. My parents and
Yes.
what they said, and where the colors and where we moved to,
Uh-huh.
and through my life, falling in love and blah 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 blah.
Yes.
And what the feeling was that I was the spine of the book. I
Ah.
was the awareness of all of
Yes.
those different ages. I
Yes.
wrote those words. That was the creation of the universe. I wrote the words on those
Yes.
pages. I acted that out. I became part of it.
Yes.
But I was always this person at this age, not now, but I mean, I had the awareness of an adult as a
Yes.
1-year-old or something. I don't even know if
Pure
adult is the
aware
right word.
intelligence. Yes.
It was so crazy.
I love that. What a beautiful, poetic, theatrical opportunity and permission slip to recognize deeper than maybe what you were emphasizing as an 11-year-old until that moment.
Totally. And I could
Yeah.
see that in the moments of those pages, we think that's all there is.
Yes.
It's very two-dimensional, but we don't know that.
Yes.
It's not until you're the spine and you hold all of your life in that
So
moment.
appropriate. Mhm.
And then when I was done reviewing that, it was a blip in time.
Yes.
It was a little spark that went, this is,
Uh-huh.
and I was still there.
Yes.
That was the crazy part.
He's still here.
Yeah. It was
Yes.
so cool.
So very cool. So very
I don't know
cool.
why I thought but anyway, I don't really have a question as much
I
as
love that.
it just it became I was very aware of as you're
Yeah.
talking. That's what you're saying, which is that
Yes.
your awareness is infinitely old and young,
Yes.
and creation is the moment to moment, no matter
Yes.
what it is. Because there were
Yes.
horrible things,
Yes.
but that was just on a page.
right. Just on a page.
Yeah,
Right.
It was just so crazy. Anyway.
So crazy. Yeah.
Did awareness, Carla, judge that? I'm just curious. Did awareness, I mean, did you ever, as you were sitting in that, were you judging like that's negative, that's positive, or did you just see it as a book, a story?
It was a story, but I loved it. There was love around it all. So the whole thing was just, I was so grateful. Everything was beautiful. And
Yes.
you can see the ups and downs
Right.
and all the craziness, but you're so grateful to have lived. That wisdom was that this is such a gift, and I played it well.
Yay. I played.
Well isn't even the right word because it was just a life.
Right.
It was a great
Every life. Right.
So, Ash, does awareness judge positive and negative? Is there any judgment in awareness?
So good I love that question. And feel into it. Does awareness judge positive and negative?
I think not.
And take a look.
Yeah.
Awareness
It just doesn't, awareness is just aware.
allows and is aware and allows for discernment to be present and wisdom to be present. Wisdom and discernment don't have to be present in an environment focused on positive and negative. They are also non-binary. It's this moment meeting itself. It's the wisdom of couch and floor and technology. Yeah.
It feels like awareness always comes back to this peaceful place, but that's not I'll talk about myself. I'm seeing as reality right now. Reality
Uh-huh.
right now is bombs.
Right now?
Reality right now. Well,
Right
not
now?
okay, not right now.
Well, take a moment to notice
Okay.
because this is really powerful.
Yeah.
Because we'll be sitting in our houses.
Mm-hmm.
S- The reality is that there's bombs everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, some places, yeah.
And we don't notice that in this moment, it's just not true. Not to say we don't show up, not to say we don't march, not to say, but in other words, the more we perpetuate that this is what's happening in the world, the only world that's ever, there's no other people here having a world.
Mm-hmm.
This is you and your own hologram, your own heart. So, us in our own worlds, if we are saying that there's war here, our hologram is going to say, okay, more war here. Keep appearing, more war here. So innocent. I'm not saying that it's just appearances. And it may seem counterintuitive, it may seem irresponsible, but if we really want to add some peace to a world at war, it is our responsibility to recognize if we in the moment are contributing to the suffering on the planet or contributing to the peace of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
To contribute to the peace, it is absolutely okay, and it's a force, it's a revolutionary force
Mm-hmm.
to, in your spot of the earth, be the biggest peace you can be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I feel that.
Yeah. And that softens.
Mm-hmm.
We can say it lubricates. We can say it lubricates the atmosphere where if there was something called other people, it makes it easier for them to notice. Oh, wow. Because countries are made up of individuals. And all these individuals, right now, what we're experiencing are the innocence of human beings dealing with heaps upon heaps of generational trauma, not knowing how to take responsibility for their own discomfort. When we don't know how to take responsibility for our own discomfort, we live a life in which we cannot help but displace that discomfort. Trauma, Tourette's, spewing our pain, our horror, our hurt on everyone else, contributing to technologies, contributing to decisions, contributing to actions that do nothing but perpetuate the trauma and the fear and the war and the war and the war and the war. But if you have the courage to, in your own moment, stop the war, tell the truth. In this moment, we don't know. Maybe the whole world is rejoicing that the war is over. Maybe the whole world is woken up. And everyone's crying in each other's arms and hugging. In other words, who is it that drags the dead horse of humanity that is at war with itself? We're the only ones to ever do that until we don't. Give peace a chance. Give humanity a chance. In this moment, like there's value in stopping and telling the truth about the peace in your bedroom in Boulder, about the peace in this couch, about the peace of your heart. That the moment you are willing to touch your own heart, which is peace itself, every soul on the planet is touched. Every child is touched in their center, in their core. Every world leader is touched in their core. bigger than any atomic bomb, is the bomb of reality, of peace.
That's a great mantra. There's peace here now.
There is peace here now. I wrote a song when I was like 18. It's called the Peace Song. I have a garage band version of it that I'm gonna play for you on my phone.
While you look that up.
Yes, hi love.
So the way I picture it in my mind is like you're looking in like a scope, but then there's that part of you who's looking has a scope as well. And you just keep looking at that scope. And the scope is there's more.
I
There's
love that.
always more.
Always more.
And I have recently noticed the trickle effect, or
I love that.
the when you throw a rock into the lake and it's rippling, ripples, and it stops rippling, but it doesn't stop rippling because it echoes,
Uh-huh.
and the echo will continue, and that echo will touch all the lives in the ocean, and the lives in the ocean will go and swim, and so eventually meditation becomes everything. And we live in that moment. And before we got here, we went through some pretty brave things. And then we were talking about just exactly this, how to be open to just receiving the all at all times, and allowing the universe to bless you. And when we parked, a man was at his door and he handed us 2 Cokes, free Cokes. And we had a great conversation before we stepped in. That's why we were a little late.
I love that.
And as we were walking up, we were in deep conversation. And I've noticed birds. They were flying and they started chirping. And one of them landed right above us on the light, on your light outside. And it was chirping and telling us. And I looked at the bird and I was like, hi, look at how I showed up.
Look at how I showed up.
And it's seeing yourself in the awe and just receiving it as it is.
Right.
And that's it.
Right. So beautiful.
So I wanted to share that with you guys.
Thank you, love. And know that even as we hold this peace and as we recognize the all in all, it doesn't mean that we're not going to have grief. Doesn't mean that we're not going to be on the floor crying. All of that's so welcome. That's also part of it. It's like the all is well and the heartbreak are not inseparable. They're not inseparable. This song, let's see what it just sounds like.
Playing from Ash. Sparkles emoji. 2 hearts emoji.
Okay. This is a song called The Peace Song that I wrote when I was like 18. Why can't we make manifest? What's it that we're doing wrong? Why can't we see the peace? We see the war, we see the pain, the fruit of all our sins. Yet if it's peace we're looking for, where shall we begin? Where shall we begin? It's such a cute song. At first it seemed impossible. peace was not around. Where's it at? And then it seemed achievable. Someday, maybe someday, peace could be found. Then, by the grace of peace itself, we've come to realize that peace resides in every heart, no matter the disguise. You and I are brothers. There's no need to understand. There's no need to change religions. There's no need to even hold my hand. We see the war. We see the pain, the fruit of all our sins. Yet if it's peace we're looking for, where shall we begin? At first it seemed impossible. Peace was not around. And then it seemed achievable. One day peace could be found. And by the grace of peace itself, by the grace of peace itself, we've come to realize. I love the bridge of this song. In every heart, no matter the peace could not be captured. Peace could not be captured. Not even by the heart. The dawn of peace will never come. Because it's who you are. Peace was not around, and then it seemed achievable. One day peace could be found, and by the grace of peace itself, we've come to realize that in every it doesn't matter the disguise. It doesn't matter the disguise. Doesn't matter the disguise. It doesn't matter the disguise. It's so 90s, I love it. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, loves. Thank you, loves. Yeah, bye, precious Annie. Sunny, give me the biggest hug. And bye, beloved Lynn. Love you, love you. Okay. We just have a few more moments, but I love you. Oh, thank you, love. I know, so young.
Bye-bye.
My favorite line is, there's peace in every heart, no matter the disguise.
There's peace in every heart, no matter the disguise. Yes.
No matter how it, what the appearance is, no matter what the appearance is, what it looks like, anger,
Right.
resentment, jealousy,
Right.
whatever,
Right.
you know that peace still resides there.
Right.
And so sometimes just the recognition of it and like pointing to the light of it gives somebody an opportunity to say, oh, that's right, there's peace here.
Right. Beautiful.
Oh no, she's not here anymore because her question was kind of intriguing to me. If we would, with awareness having discernment between good and bad,
Mm.
my immediate reaction was awareness itself, most likely not, but in my connection to it, if I'm connected to it, I do get guided by awareness, you know, probably to more kindness versus hitting you over the head. I mean,
Yes.
there is something which is not totally neutral. You said, you know, it's completely, it has no intrinsic moral factor, but how to say that? But when we're connected to, when I'm connected to awareness, I'm guided to do more beneficial things than not.
Well, that's what's so beautiful is that, and just be careful how you hold the mic because it makes noise. Yeah, awareness is pure beneficial potency. It's pure kindness, wholly positive, and wholly positive.
So you use
Fully.
positive, okay.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun word. Would you like to share something? I feel the energy. Can you bring the... Oh, can you bring the mic? Thank you. We're still in there. We're still in that. This is in relationship, I imagine.
So Ash, I love the how kind that's had such an impact on me, that perception. And so my mother has dementia, and so I love the thought of when those really intense emotions come. And I feel like I'm losing her. I am. I love the thought of, so what I can say to myself is how kind, and then I'm not sure what to say next. I guess I think about it, but ooh, maybe how kind because she loved me so much, because there's so much love there. I don't know.
Beautiful. You mean how kind with the dementia? How kind with the...
Just what you're sharing, like
Right.
how kind the ambulance came, how
Right.
kind,
Well, yes,
like how can I use that, I guess, as
in this particular situation.
Yeah.
So one thing that's really sweet, I had a great aunt who had dementia, and meeting her from this space, like it was so heartfelt and heartbreaking to be in room with other family members who weren't aware of this space, of their true nature, because it was so painful for them. They wanted her to be like she was. They wanted her to remember them. It was almost like if she didn't know their names, they didn't exist. And they were losing her, and they'd be like, no, I am this person, I am. And it was a lot of confusion and a lot of so innocent and of course heartbroken. When I was with her, I didn't care what name she called me. I didn't care. I was just so present to her having her own experience, and also curious about was it her mind that loved, or was it that which never changes that loved? Was it the ego that loved? And not saying that the ego doesn't love, this is not, but there's something about her that's not limited to what the brain is doing or what memory is doing. And that love knows no container or no time. And, you know, so the kindness is not about projecting onto a whole future of like what it's going to be, but it's really just about the moment.
So I'm doing it. because that's
I
what I
love
do.
that.
When she's
Yes.
sleeping from the medication, I just get in bed next to her, or I just
Yes.
be with her. So it's like I had a question, but I've answered it, like I'm doing it.
You
And
are. You're being
that's like the kindness to myself. I
kindness to
loved,
yourself.
yeah, I loved and kindness to her, allowing her to
Yes.
be,
It is so kind.
yeah, allowing her to be, she's there.
She's there.
She's there.
She's there. Yeah.
Why do the tears come? That's, you don't have to answer
Well,
that,
how
but
sweet,
it's,
right? And it's so sweet also because we're not just infinite awareness and we're not just our age now. We're our 2-year-old, we're our 6-year-old, we're our 10-year-old, we're our 20-year-old. So our 3-year-old cries, our 7-year-old cries. It's like,
and I love how you say how sweet. I'll remember that.
it is sweet. And my experience, feel into it for a moment.
Yeah.
How precious that we get to
Yeah.
be human and then we get to be broken and we get to be sad. Knowing that there's just infinite aware intelligence here also allows me to show up as a brother in their family meetings and Christmases or holidays. And no matter what, there we are. My father passed away 30 something years ago, and we're crying like babies, thinking of him, telling each other how proud he'd be of each other. And that's part of this infinite love. Infinity, love itself, so delighted to love itself in every kind of way. And in our willingness to be with we never rob ourselves from the humanity of this moment, the love of this moment, the heartbreak of this moment, the fulfillment of this moment, all inclusive. And yeah.
I just see other people scurrying around and trying to change the medications and change this and change that. And I have just found my way, my path. And I love your term, the sweetness, because that is what it is. And so
Right.
sometimes we question as humans, am I doing this right?
Yes.
And I'm just following the moment, the
Right.
now, the sweetness, the love,
So
which is
profound.
kind of precious, right?
It is
it's-
precious.
Because now it's everything else is moved aside, and that's just what she is. She's just the love.
She's just a love. Yeah. That could never be forgotten. That could never. Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know. Should I? Maybe you just need to stand.
Yeah, just maybe with the tears of others, like thinking about other people's pain and how that is projected, watching other people's sadness and crying for them, as well as for your mother or the memories. Is that
You can speak.
strange?
I can say my answer is that doesn't resonate, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yay.
Love touches us, we often cry. And I
Right.
found that in you. Right?
Yeah.
I had that with my father so much in his dementia, 7 years. I mean, when he died, there was nothing left of our earthly karma, which we had as father and daughter. You know, he was in a Swiss fashion, always quite distant when we were, and I loved him, but he obeyed the societal thing and was relatively, we were 3 girls, was relatively distant. Oh, pops. So I was always a little sad. And in those last 7 years, everything, and he was also very narrow-minded. He grew up in a valley in Switzerland with high thinking, and that's how his thinking was, very formed by the geographic thing he grew up with. But all that in those last few years during the dementia did not play any role. It was just so basic. And my poor mom, who cared for him, I mean, she was a heroine. She would teach him for days. It's Claudia that's coming. She's coming all the way from America. Claudia, say from America. And then when I came and he could say nothing, she was so disturbed and disappointed.
Right.
And
so
I felt so,
sweet.
and he felt sad because he knew he disappointed her and didn't know why.
Right.
but we were so good.
Yes.
And even at the end, of course, he didn't know I was Claudia. He didn't even know I was his daughter. He didn't exist in father-daughter categories anymore. If you don't have that category, you don't know who is who. But it didn't matter. It was much more simple love, yes. At the very end, we sang through all the years. And it was very interesting, maybe for you. In the beginning, we sang he was always in choirs and
What'd
stuff.
you sing?
Well, no. Something interesting actually
Yeah.
about that in the first, second year in the summers when I came, we sang the songs we sang as adults. And then suddenly those were gone and we sang the rousing songs from when he was a student, and the boobs and the beer and, No, there's a whole category of,
Oh, the boobs and the beer and the boobs and the beer. Hey.
I'm just making a point.
I didn't know there was a
like,
Hooters in Switzerland.
But you sing between 18 and 20, And then he went back and he remembered mostly the grade school songs and he sang all of them. He could not really remember names, but he could say 3, 4, 5 verses he could sing with me. The year later, he only would sing the chorus, falleri, fallera, and then exactly. And then the next year, I would be the one who sings, and the next year he only would do it with the lips, and
Oh.
then not at all anymore, but always smile. And then was the very last year. He would not even kind of much open his eyes when I came in the room, but he took my hand and first was just flesh against flesh, and suddenly he began to massage it. And he was there. I mean, he was there till the end in different forms. And that was such an education about humanness. And so, yeah, so I think you're on a beautiful journey in a way.
Yeah, I would imagine it would be like meeting somebody new and giving them an experience that they can enjoy.
Beautiful. Yeah. This moment, we're always meeting someone new in each moment, which is so sweet. Anyone want to sing a song? Yay, I love a channel moment.
Oh, oh, ooh, ooh, ah, oh, oh, hey, yeah. Oh, ooh, ooh, ah. Whew. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, love. Wow. Thank you so much for the satsang, loves. Thank you for this time together. Thank you for being this peace, being this love, being this grace, being a presence of solutions, a presence of art, a presence of channeling, a presence of creativity, a presence of meeting life freshly, a presence of curiosity, a presence of possibility. Beloved, can you pass me that book right there? The blue book? Much. Let's see. Anyone? Okay, let's see. And pick a number from 1 to 184. 33. Okay. This poem is called Why God is a Woman. Who is it that would have created those curvaceous hills, those sumptuous valleys? Who would take the care to create the delicate origami of wildflower? Whose attention to detail would allow light access to crawl through even the deepest tunnels of the Mariana Trench? Who would have cared to fill the chests of birds with happy music? Who would have weaved the tapestry of this universe on that orbital loom, or been wild enough to have slipped those dervish planets all that celestial wine to keep them whirling in eternal devotion around her lights? Ooh! Who would have made circles and cycles and softens and yieldings the rule? Who would have paused to make the exquisite flowering of every living thing susceptible to light? Who would have been luscious enough to churn the moon? Go on making your cars and devices, men. I'll be praying to Goddess as she spins me a blanket of stars. Okay. So beautiful. We'll do one more from 1 to 184. 56. And this is Susceptible to Light from Shalon Harkin. Pouring moonlight. You don't need to bring flowers, my dear. Now that spring is cascading out of my heart, there's no need for chocolates when you've given a taste of innermost nectar to the lips of my soul. I don't need you to write me love poems. You've led me inside of one. Who needs romantic gestures now that both my eyes are pouring moonlight? Feel free to take a picture. Thank you, loves, for this sad song. So appreciate you being here. I am here next Monday as well. Got 3 or 4 more Mondays, maybe even 5. But it's so happy to be here. Um, if you'd like, you can leave a donation in that little blue thing over there, or leave a donation online. Um, Go to my website, ashruiz.com. There are some plant medicine ceremonies and retreats coming up. And or reach out to me if you'd like to have more detail about stuff. Bye, love. Thank you, love, so much. Bye. Ooh. When are the what, the what, the what, the what? Ah.
We can all relate.